Finally, I'm posting this really old Q&A, and I thought it was fun to add in plant updates from almost a year later, so you'll see that throughout the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rose, and today we're gonna do a lot of stuff, including answering some of your questions. Some stuff that I've been needing to do for a long time. Luckily, I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys on Instagram and some on YouTube as well. I hope I remember to answer those because it's a little bit chaotic here, as you can see. But I wanted to start today with making my water because some of my plants desperately need water, and I thought it would be fun to show you how I make it. Well, I don't make the water, but make my mix with fertilizer. So this is 5 liters of rainwater, which I'm lucky to get from our house. We have 2 big rain collectors. What do you call them? The big tons? Barrels? I don't know. That I mix in with this fertilizer, liquid gold leaf. I recently started using this. So far the results are insane. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I paid for this myself. They didn't ask me to make this video or anything like that. I just wanted to show you how I do it. It comes with one of these, a little pipette thingy, and it says to do 2 millimeters per, ooh, it actually says to shake well before use. I forgot because I'm talking to you. So, 2 milliliters per liter. So, just squeeze the little bubble and then the stuff comes up. You can see 2 milliliters is here. And I squeeze it in. Again, I have 5 liters, so I have to do this 5 times. And actually, I've been watering my plants every time with this fertilizer because apparently, because it's natural, it cannot be burning your roots. So it cannot be, wait, was that 3 or 4? I'm already losing count. I'd rather be it not too much, so I'm gonna leave it at this. That may have been 4, you will know better than me. Don't talk and count at the same time. So I like to stir this a little bit. I don't have a spoon or anything, so I'm just gonna stir it with my pipette. We'll start with watering this guy because it's pretty dry. This is my Hoya polynura that my cat actually threw off its shelf yesterday and it fell on the ground. I haven't fully inspected it yet. I haven't seen any broken branches, so that's good. But I was very mad at the cat. So we'll pop that in a little thingy. I'll water it until water comes out, and actually because I like this one to, I don't water it very often, so I let it sit in water for about, I don't know, 10 minutes until it's soaked up enough of the water, and then I'll let it drip out and put another one in there. Don't do this if you don't know if you have pests or not, because you might spread pests all around your house, I know, but I like to reuse my beautiful water, so don't hate me. This guy also really needs some water. Do we have a pot for underneath? Okay, that worked. So, potting up and answering questions. What I've got here is my beautiful, very well-rooted fiddle leaf fig. I actually, when grabbing it to pot it up, I let it fall on the floor because this leaf is so top heavy that it just fell out of the container and I broke off some of the roots. So I'm super sorry, my little fiddle leaf. I hope you recover. We're gonna get this guy a small pot, and let's start with, oh, actually, I cannot do all this. How can you answer questions and pot up your plants? This is already getting confusing. So what I wanted to say is the soil that I'm using is my aeroid mix. It is, as you can see, lots of perlite. There's bark in there. I also have one version that's just the soil and the perlite because bark for the small plants doesn't always work. All the products actually that I do like, I link both in my description thingy box below, but I also have a website in case you didn't know. It's yogawithrose.com/plants. I'll link them down below as well. And I've linked to both my Amazon store, but also stuff that I just really like, brands that I like. I hope that helps you. For the fiddle leaf, I'm actually gonna probably use pure soil. Already quite a chunky mix with the rice bits in there and just very airy, which I like. So this small pot. Oh, and the questions, geez. This is the first time making a video like this and I'm already very unsuccessful. So, oh, this is a lot of questions. What's your favorite plant for now? I don't know. What is my favorite plant right now? I used to say Casper, but Casper has been a little bit fussy and his white leaves are not turning green, which is super annoying because the white leaves are not getting him any food or strength. So I'm afraid he's gonna slowly wither and die. So I'm telling him to make some green leaves. So he's off the list for favorite plant. I think this is gonna, no, I know. My favorite plant is my Anthurium regale, because that's one of the seedling plants that I bought recently. It was super expensive and tiny, but it is putting out a new leaf. I will put some footage in where you can see, will I? I hopefully will, remember. You can see the new leaf. It's beautiful. It's tiny, but it's beautiful. As you can see, the leaves were really, really small at first, and it slowly started to put out more leaves. But unfortunately, I had some issues with them browning and getting a little bit damaged, which was quite sad and upsetting. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. In the end, I figured out I was touching the leaves too much, and from then on, it went a lot better. The leaves really started to increase in size from then on. It seems like they were finally happy. As you can see, the leaves were growing bigger and bigger with every new leaf. And the way it is right now is actually this. This latest leaf is still hardening off. Here you can see the first leaf that I had that stayed undamaged. And then the next one did get a lot of damage actually, but you can see it was getting bigger. Then there was this one, which only the end got damaged, and you can see it's increased in size a lot. And then this is the one that is now hardening off. So far, no damage, but I am taking it out of the terrarium a few times. So I'm hoping that it will stay happy, even with me touching it a little bit. At least you can see that the roots are very happy. There's a fuzzy root growing upright there. And I recently potted it up in a bigger pot so that it still has space for all those happy roots. So Reggie is definitely worth the 90 euros that I paid for him. Wah! Still a big favorite of mine. What's your favorite family group of houseplants? There's a kind of a weird answer to that. My favorite group of houseplants to admire right now are Anthuriums, because I only own a few of them and I don't know what to do with them yet, but they are stunning. I love the new leaves, how they come out. This is never gonna stay, is it? Yes, it is! Okay, so that's one plant done. Quickly popping in here from February 2021 to show you how this propagation went. After cutting it off, actually the stem split into two, which is what I was hoping for. And it's grown quite big leaves right away again. The second branch is a little bit smaller. And then the propagation, I potted back into the pot and it has since grown a lot of leaves. I did ignore it a little bit for a while. So it looks, this is the original leaf that you saw me pot up. And then it's grown 4 more leaves. But they are a little bit smaller. They get a little bit less light because this pot normally sits, look how beautiful this pot is, by the way, from Elho, recycled plastic from the Amsterdam canals. But the pot normally sits on the floor here, so it gets less light. The propagation gets much less light than the big mama plant. That's why I'm putting it on a chair for now, so that hopefully it can catch up this year. Some browning, but I don't mind that. Some Maggie cuddles, I don't mind those either. Hey Max. Hi! So yeah, this propagation was definitely a success. I had never rooted one before and it's grown. Yay! Yay, Maxer! More Maggie footage at the end of the video if you're interested. So Anthurium I love to watch, but I guess Philodendron and Hoyas are my favorite genus. Philodendron are so versatile. I mean, Vicky and Casper and Mycons. I have so many favorites in that group. But also my Hoyas have been growing new leaves, and little baby Hoya leaves are adorable. They're almost as adorable as Anthurium leaves, because philodendron leaves and alocasias and stuff come out quite as big as they are, but Anthuriums and Hoyas, the leaves come out tiny and then they start to grow and grow and grow. And that's my favorite thing. I hope that makes sense. What plant do you want to have the most? The plant I want to have the most is Philodendron Florida Beauty, which is the variegated form of a Florida. And a Florida is actually, this is fun, I can show you. In case you didn't know, Florida Ghost, Florida Beauty, and Florida Normal, green, some people call it Florida Green, but I think Florida is enough to describe the green one, is a hybrid, most likely, of these two plants. This is a little squamiferum baby, which I since gave away. And this is a philodendron pedatum, that I got some cuttings off. So if you mix these together, then you get a Florida, and then if it gets variegated, that's my dream plant. But it's super expensive, and I'm not expecting to find it. Do you want to have a greenhouse for your house plants? I kind of do already. I feel like my terrarium is a greenhouse, but my boyfriend is also going to build us a greenhouse in the garden. That's mainly going to be where we sit and have a dry place to chill on a sofa, but it also is going to include a place where I can repot my plants and hopefully a part that is an actual greenhousey vibe. Okay, let's pot up the next one. You guys have so many questions. I love it. Thank you so much. It's awesome. So these cuttings, this plant grew quite well, but then I found thrips on it, which you can see in this TikTok that I made. So unfortunately, I decided to throw this plant out. I may have been able to save it, but since I got it as free cuttings and I didn't really necessarily care about these plants very much, I decided to just throw it out and save myself the hassle. So that's a not so successful story. Ooh, I like this one. Do you ever have days where you hate plants and wish you never started? No. And she's talking about having pests. Actually, since I started putting soil all over my face, I think. Since I started making videos for you guys, it's become a lot more fun, because when I see a pest now, at first I'm like, shit, I have another pest. I have to treat this plant, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm thinking, at least I can show you guys what it looks like. I can hopefully help you understand your plants a little bit better. I can look at the plants in my creepy little microscope. So that has definitely turned it around for me and made it a little bit more light. Really, as soon as something bad happens, I'm usually like, at least it will make a good video. So thank you so much. I've got some more pots. When did I start collecting plants? I actually started about 3 years ago when I had a burnout. And I started to watch orchid videos to help me feel better. Oops. So I would watch these repotting videos by Danny, Miss Orchid Girl, and they helped me so much. I felt so zen just watching her fix that small little problem, cut off all the dead roots, and then make the plant happy and growing again. So I repotted all my 5 orchids, and then I realized I can't repot them again for a year or so. So I just put a message on a Facebook group asking for old or dead orchids. I was gonna try and rescue them. So within the space of maybe 1 month, I got 50 new orchids. Whoops. When I like something, I always go super hard for it. So I had a shit ton of orchids over here. I repotted all of them. I took care of them. Some started to grow, but then I realized they're kind of boring. Sorry to all the orchid lovers out there. I wasn't aware yet of the cool orchids. I only had Phalaenopsis and Dendrobium and Avanda, like the simple kinds. So I thought they were pretty boring. I gave them all away, the good ones anyway. And then I started to get into different plants that were a little bit more interactive, that were a little bit more interesting. For example, what I love about aroids is that they change shape and that there's so many different kinds and that there's more visible growth. It goes a lot quicker than with the orchids that I had. So I started getting into those, and that's how it all started. And that cute little squamiferum I actually gave to my sister-in-law, who really, really liked it, and it keeps on growing in her house. So that's doing well, but I can't show you it, sorry. When did you start YouTubing? I started YouTubing ages ago for my yoga business, and I actually kept making videos every week for a long time, but they never got a lot of engagement, which was a little bit depressing. And then I was discussing with my friend Shayla. She's not just any friend, she has a channel that's almost at 90k subscribers, Hey Shayla, where she posts videos about travel, and now it's about being a mom. And she has a paid YouTube course that I took. Like, should I make a plant video? I really love plants, I'm really into watching plant videos, but I am a yoga YouTube channel. What should I do? And she said, just follow your heart and do what makes you happy. So I did, and you guys were all loving it, and that's how my channel started to become a plant channel. How many plants do you have? I think I have about 100. Do you follow the plant trend like lots of people, or do you just buy plants because you're a plant person? I'm definitely a plant person because I was raised with plants, and my mom always gave me plants to take care of and make my house a little bit nicer. But I do have to say, because of the plant trend on Instagram, I've learned so much about different plants. I've discovered all these cool, weird plants that I would have never heard of before. And I got into this beautiful community. It's not always beautiful, I know. I definitely really appreciate the friends that I've made through discovering plants and learning about plants and connecting to each other about this wonderful topic. So I would say a little bit of both. They combine really well.
And it's kind of become a trend to say that you're against plant trends and that you don't follow them, but I really liked my answer here and I still agree with it. So I hope that answers your question.
Let's check on the orchid real quick. Just see, oh, orchid. Wait, I'm calling Hoyas orchids now. I think this has been watered enough. So I'm just gonna let it drip out. Especially with these hanging pots, I think they're really annoying because they pretend to be okay with you watering them just anywhere, and then it always comes out the side. So what else? I have some plants over here that need repotting, and I have tons of questions still. This is the Dischidia numularia named Nelly. She's adorable, and ever since I started using the fertilizer, she's been growing like crazy. So I'm just gonna pop her in here, get her some nutrients. This is my regular Maranta kerchoveana. I just really don't want to pronounce that name. Kerchoveana or something. I since figured it out. It's actually kerchoveana. And it really needs a repot. Some roots are coming out the bottom. It was doing really sadly last year, and then it started to grow again, and I fell back in love with it. So that's really awesome. I'm just gonna cut out some of the old bits. I completely sterilized this. Just cutting off some of the dead flowers. Are you guys' Marantas flowering right now? All of mine are flowering like crazy, and I love it. It's adorable. I love the tiny little flowers peeking out of the big leaves. So, well, most of them are big. These are the old leaves from when it was sitting in a different place. Had a little bit less light. Wasn't very happy. This one is named Roos, and I love her. Let's do some more questions. Oh, I like this one. What's the reason you started to practice yoga? I was 15 and my parents made me. That's the truth. They were like, we love you. What the hell is in this soil? What is that? Hold on. Yoga story has to wait. This looks very weird. I'm having my hair down for you guys, but it's super annoying already. I think this soil is just super old or something. It's fallen apart like little nothing. Let's continue with the yoga story. My parents made me. I was against it. I said yoga's stupid. I don't want to. And then I went, and it was actually amazing. I met some beautiful friends that I've had all my life, and we did not just yoga, but also other cool stuff like that teenagers like. We went hiking and climbing, rock climbing and stuff, and canoeing and all those things. But we also would get together and collect food for the homeless, do walks for peace and for charities and stuff. So it was a really nice way to connect to other people during those formative years where you can be very insecure and feeling left out. We would be a group of people that didn't judge. So that's how I started. And the last one on YouTube is, what are your top garden centers? I actually have a video about this on my channel about the ones near Amsterdam, but I am gonna make another one because I'm getting a lot of questions about where to go when you guys come to Holland. Wherever you are, there will probably be an intratuin. Check them out. On the west side of Holland, there are quite a few garden centers that are named the Bosrand. There's 6, I think. And then my favorite one is Global Garden, as you probably know, which is, it's near Haarlem, let's say that. It's between Amsterdam and The Hague. Soil, plant, more soil. She's gonna be happy. So that's this one potted up. So this is Roos today, February 2021. She still looks okay. There are some crispy tips, which has to do with winter and maybe lack of humidity. I've noticed that quite a lot of leaves have died off, which is normal, and I feel like this plant maybe is a little bit of a seasonal grower. So in winter they die back a little bit more, and then in spring more than other plants, because obviously all plants do that. But see that little tip coming out there? Those points are incense leftovers, but there's a plant tip growing again. So I feel like these really are affected more by the seasons, even though they live in a household, so they get a pretty steady temperature, but light obviously is a little bit less. So I hope we get some more beautiful leaves again, because as you can see, the spots, they go a little bit more dark green rather than the golden color that they come out as. And I can't wait to see the gold again. This one is in the sunlight. So pretty. So she's still good. Are you still with me? Because this is taking a long time. Sorry if you're bored. This is my Epipremnum pinnatum. And it was called blue form, but they're not actually Cebu blue. This one definitely needs a repot. Another question. Where do you get all your special plants? Most of them actually are from garden centers, since the garden centers here in Holland have a lot of cool plants, luckily. And other ones I get from friends, from private sellers, on Instagram, I guess web shops as well. Recently I've been ordering more online from web shops, which has been really fun since we can't go outside anyway. And I actually won my Florida ghost in a giveaway on Instagram. And I love that I'm now able to do giveaways and give you guys plants. My spider plant has brown dry ends. What should I do? I currently don't own any spider plants anymore. I gave them all away, but I don't really do anything. I just accept that they're brown. It might be the humidity in your house, or maybe they are thirsty, but I don't know exactly. I can't give you a clear answer. And like I probably say in every video, I'm not a plant expert. I didn't study for this or anything. I'm just going by what I've learned from myself and what I'm learning from friends. So you guys often ask me advice, and I love that, and I'm happy to help research, but I'll probably point you to Google or another account that knows more about it than me. What are some good Anthurium species for small homes? I don't think it's necessarily species that you need to look for. I think it's more getting them small. Because if you buy a huge plant, it's going to be big right away. If you buy a tiny plant, then it has time to grow, and it will grow probably big, but it might take a long time. If you get a little seedling, for example, like I have, they probably will take a little bit of time before they're starting to be really big, like they can be in the botanical gardens. Finally, this one is done. That took a while. I'll pop it up here for now.
Hi, it's me from February 2021. This pinnatum I actually gave to my mum because I didn't really like it and she did like it a lot. I don't know if it was in their house that burnt down a few weeks ago. If you missed that information, don't be shocked. All people and cats are safe, and you can see a little update from my parents here. They're telling you how they're doing now. So I'm not quite sure if that plant was in the studio building, which is still standing, or in the farmhouse building, which is no longer with us. So I actually don't know how this plant is doing.
Next plant first, and then next question. This is my huge sago palm that has been doing horribly recently, and it's my boyfriend's favorite plant. So he's mad at me for taking such good care of my own plants and not taking care of his one favorite plant. So we're gonna try and fix it. I actually have a little seedling in here of a kalanchoe. I'm gonna take that out. There are some shells in here, by the way. My mom loves to give plants little gifts to make them a little bit happier, and part of that is the shells and mineral, what do you call them? Quartz, like beautiful stones. I think this guy just has too much of a heavy soil. I think we're gonna change that. Oh, at least there's some roots on there. Ow. So this was in a mix of soil and sand. My mom used to teach me to just add in sand in plants to make it less water retentive. What I've noticed is that it does become super dense and heavy, and a lot of our plants that we love, the aroids, need air in the soil, in the roots. So if you do that trick with the sand, it's not gonna work because the roots will be suffocated by the sand. So I guess we're gonna try and do this one in my regular aroid mix and see what happens. The old leaves have got to go because they have little needles on them and they're super mean, so go away. When did you start collecting plants? So about 3 years ago, I actually became a little bit obsessed, but I've always had plants. And how old are you? I am 35 years old. And I know I don't look it. People always underestimate me because I don't look my age. And also, I don't act my age. I like to jump on carts in shopping malls and stuff. So if you could only keep 5 of your plants, which ones would you choose? Oh shit, that's a horrible question. I would choose Caspar, Vicky. Sorry, Caspar is the Florida ghost. Vicky is the philodendron verrucosum. I would pick, oh, my Anthuriums, you can't make me pick. I would pick, I guess, my 3 Anthurium babies, Metallicum, Regale, and Forgetii. I don't know. But what about my Cupreas? They're doing so well. And what about my Dragon Scale? No, don't make me do this. Okay, Dragon Scale is definitely on there. So I guess we're dropping one of the, we're dropping the Metallicum. I will still cry a lot, but that would be it. Maybe my Monsteras. What about my little Pilea? It's growing so well. Okay. No. Answer is no. Do you consider your cats your furry children? Yes. 100%. When we got our cats, we actually started calling them our babies right away. It super annoys my brother, which we love. And I don't mean that to offend anyone or push my opinion on anyone, but I think we should just all allow each other to feel that love, whether it's for an actual human child or whatever else you love. I don't necessarily love this one, sorry, little buddy. But I hope it's gonna recover because actually I think this was a very useful repot. I was worried about this plant and I think it's gonna be okay. Here's a little update on Enrico, the sago palm, Cycas revoluta. As you can see, it has done nothing since I repotted it. It's been 9 months. There is no new leaves, but the leaves that were on there are still on there. And apparently that's kind of normal for these plants to only have 1 crown of leaves until they die off and then it will start to make new leaves. It does look like there might be some pests because it was living outside for a really long time. Luckily, I took it inside right before we had that snowstorm, but I'm keeping it kind of separate from my other plants in here in this window so that it's not spreading any weird pests to my other plants. I guess it's good. Better than I expected, at least. Oh, would you go to a garden center with a few of your followers after the whole COVID-19? Yes! I would love to meet you guys in a garden center. If you're interested in that and if you're in the Netherlands or coming to the Netherlands, definitely let me know in the comments and we can arrange a little meet up / plant shopping experience. That would be awesome. Are you religious? Ooh, I like this question as well. I would say I'm not religious, but I am spiritual, but I don't believe in one specific religion. I was actually raised with different religions at the same time, which may sound weird, but my parents taught us lessons from Christianity, but also from Buddhism and from Hinduism, and used all those schools of thought or belief systems to raise us with what they think we need for life. I totally respect all religions, but for me personally, as a bisexual person, I've always felt a little bit of discomfort towards Christianity. The idea in the books that it says that we're wrong and that my lesbian friends didn't want to come to the Vatican with me when I was visiting Rome because they thought they would be damned by going inside. There's a little negative twinge in there, but I do have been raised with Christian stories and saints. I love St. Michael and St. Francis. I hope that makes sense. This was a bit of a ramble. I'm gonna go clean this whole mess up, water my plants. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much if you stuck around for it.
I would love to hear what you think of these kinds of videos where I wait a long time and then give you a growth update in the same video. If you like it, please let me know below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have an amazing Patreon page and a YouTube membership as well. You can find all the info below. And a huge thank you to all of my patrons, which you can see here on the screen. They are amazing. We just had our Zoom call of February, which was really, really fun, just chatting with each other and showing off our beautiful plants. One more quick update, because you stayed all the way to the end of this video, you're getting a little sneak peek into what's coming. I actually just made appointments with 2 of my favorite garden centers to go over there and film their collections, because they are slowly opening up again to customers. Very limited numbers, but still, they're allowed to bring people into the shops. So the shops are actually gonna look nice again and have lots of plants. And I'm so excited. So that's coming up in the next few weeks, I would say. If you have any requests for videos, also please tell me in the comments or send me a DM. I'm happy to work with your suggestions as well. If you want to stay for the bloopers, there's a few more minutes here. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, friends!
Philodendron pinnatum. No, what am I saying? I currently don't own any brown. I cannot talk anymore. Help me. So yeah, this propagation and this cat are doing great. I can't stop petting her. Sorry, hold on. I'll put this in the bonus footage for y'all. Mixer, cat cuddles. Yeah, my micey. Hey. Come on. My fluffy baby. My fluffy, playful baby. Hello. She nearly got me. You get a little sneak peek. One more quick update.